All right, Julia, thanks so much for joining me for a Green Beverly expert interview. Welcome.
Thank you.
This is like a new thing. We're
Yeah,
starting. Here we go.
I'm ready.
Cool. Well, what I'm aware of is a huge part of what Green Beverly brings to the community is a way for people who are a bit newer to sustainable living to get educated and involved. And so you have kindly agreed to share some ways that they could get started and get aware right away. We'll start with four. If there's more, that's great. But if you're game, we can just dive in.
Let's go.
Okay, fantastic. So what would be the first thing that people could start doing?
So someone new to Beverly, I've realized, or even someone not new to Beverly, I've realized there are people who haven't actually discovered this yet. Unpacked living is a one-stop shop really for anything you're looking for that kind of can inspire you. You don't even have to have an idea of what you're looking for before you go in. But Sabrina Auclair is the owner and the mastermind behind it. And so anything that she sells bulk food, she sells bulk items that you might need for cleaning in your bathroom or in your shower or in your kitchen or the rest of your house. I mean, there's all kinds of other pet care and child care, just knickknacks, important things and unimportant things, cards and things as well. She even has a little pop-up clothing clothing situation in the corner, used clothes. So just go on in there and, be delighted and be inspired. And you can walk
Let's
out
talk
of there with,
about that for a second. I
yeah,
want to point something out because, I would love to hear from you. Um, I have a thought, and then I would love to ask you a question about why would someone go there instead of, a Whole Foods or another place that has a lot of more, organic and environmentally friendly products. So we'll go there. But I just want to say that, for example, when I refill my dishwasher liquid, it is actually cheaper to do it there. I bring my own container and she fills it all the way up. I don't know, was it 16 ounces, 20 ounces? It's a lot. And
yeah,
I get out of there with like $3 or $4 spent on that. And it keeps me for like a month and a half or something like that. Like it's just, that was really surprising. But how would you answer that? Like, why would someone go there? What distinguishes it from a Whole Foods or another place like that?
it's plastic free. So there's no packaging that has plastic on the items that she sells. And she is mindful of products that in their shipping practices and in their production practices that go well beyond what you'll find at a Whole Foods or something like that. I mean, Whole Foods has its place, Trader Joe's has its place, Market Basket has its place, and that's fine. We all have to do what we need to do, but I'm just saying that like she really thinks outside the box, literally, like there's no box to some of the stuff that comes in here, or it's a paper box. It's something that will disintegrate into the earth in a healthy way. So she's just so inspiring. It's hard to explain, but unpacked living is really, it's plastic free living. And I will say that it's an experience. It's an experience for yourself. It's a journey for yourself. So don't worry if it takes a while for it to all sink in. There's a lot to consider. And
Well, then, how about this?
yeah,
Tell me a couple of products that you really like that you might not have used if you didn't go in that store.
yeah. So I started in the bathroom, really. I started in the shower and I wanted to get rid of all those plastic bottles. And so we all have our preferences for soaps and, for our face, for our body, for our hair. And I just went on a little journey for myself on shampoo. And so I was looking and purchased a couple of different kinds of shampoos that came like in like a regular, like you'd get in a soap, a
Like a
normal
bar,
body soap, like a Dove soap.
shampoo bar.
Yeah, a
Yeah.
bar, thank you, a bar soap for my hair. And I didn't find one that was feeling like a good fit for me. And so I kept looking and I realized it took me about 3 or 4 different tries before I found what I wanted. And it actually is at Unpacked Living. I bring in my own container, a bottle that was empty from another dispensary for shampoo, and it's refilled at Unpacked Living. It's like the lavender chamomile or something like that. And I love it. And I just bring my stuff there and refill, and I have my my on-hand refill under my sink that I can refill into the shower thing, and then I refill the other one that's under the sink, and I keep dispensing from here and there. That's just my system, and I love it. We also now have we use like a dish block soap. It's a block of soap for our kitchen sink, and a little scrubby, and so we just sort of have that. It's on sort of a little draining pad that makes it so it's not so disgusting.
I have totally used those. They didn't quite work for me, so I guess everyone needs to try them for themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a lot to consider, and it's just about what works for you and what you can manage and adjust your systems for.
Yeah. So, all right. So now you had mentioned unpack living. What's another way someone can begin this path to really live more sustainably?
Well, something that have been learning a lot more about recently, and really enjoying actually, is the waste and trash systems through our city. And I've learned through some research that we've been doing just through Green Beverly that there's a lot more to waste diversion or trash diversion than I ever realized. So, for example, Staples is a place that will accept spent batteries, electronics, I believe printers and things like that, cartridges for toners and things like that. I can't even tell you the whole list. You just need to go to Staples and go to the webpage and see what they have listed, because
Yeah, I think they will take almost any electronic. It's
it's
incredible.
remarkable. Yeah. And I didn't realize that until earlier this year. And I think that they've been adjusting too. They've been growing with what their lists are. So maybe it's not my fault. I don't know. So Staples is a great place to look at and peruse, kind of like the unpacked living. Just be inspired. Start changing a bit here and a bit there in your own practices at home, where you keep your spent batteries instead of throwing them in the trash, or instead of putting them somewhere that they don't belong. Just have a little system for yourself and create that, that new thing. So Staples, there are collection sites for plastic film. There are collection sites for your clothing and shoes. There's just collection sites for, of course, your plastic, where you can recycle that at a place it's called Republic. It used to be
Okay.
JRM, and now it's Republic. And they have a materials recovery facility. And we've been organizing a couple of tours to go there and understand how that whole thing works with cardboard and whatnot. So just starting to learn about the processes of waste is great. And if you have any questions about any of that stuff, about any waste streams, then we have our amazing waste reduction committee in Beverly that you can reach out to, and you can get them either directly from probably the city website, but you can also come to Green Beverly and ask a coach, and we will refer you to our waste reduction committee, who meet they meet monthly, and they process questions that come in. They'll also process questions more rapidly than monthly as well. But
So, okay, there's
yeah.
obviously you're opening up a journey for someone to take about their waste reduction. If there were a couple things that they could do right now based on your own education and awareness, I mean, we just had a talking trash event.
Yeah.
What would you say, like a couple of changes someone could make right now that would make a difference?
Well, right now, I suppose, gosh, that's a good question. Something that I've been really enjoying, and that's been catching people's eye when they come into my home, is that we use cloth napkins. And so we also don't use paper towels. And for a long time, we actually didn't even use like tissues, like normal tissues, because there's always leftover tissues or leftover napkins in a bag that's packed for takeout, like in a paper bag, and you have this stack of napkins that someone gives you. You just don't use them all. So we just tuck them away, and we have a drawer where we have like random napkins that we've just been using as tissues. My kids have pushed me to get tissues since then, like for guests at least. So we do have some now, but we've always been just using those as our tissues. And then we have our own textiles. So like when one of our t-shirts, or when we're wearing out from our clothing, we take it wash it, cut it up into our own version of paper towels. So when we have a spill, we just grab one of those. And so those are real simple things that, you know, you're going to be going through clothing, you know, you're going to get holes in your t-shirts or whatever. First thing you should probably do is create like a system of like paper towels or actual towels that you can use to clean up spills. And then the next thing you would do is research, which I can just tell you, but like there are collection sites for textiles at every school right now. And so you can just, again, keep a little bag separated from other avenues of where things go. It does not belong in the trash. It should go to one of these schools because the school then makes money off of it as well.
That's
So
great to know, because I honestly have been noticing that a few of my towels are pretty worse for wear, and it's like I cannot get them clean. So, the other thing I wanted to ask about is composting. Would you say that composting would be something to do like that? You would recommend that, as well as far as waste diversion?
100,000%. That
Okay.
is one of the most important things that you can do for in your lifestyle to change, to help with the climate problem, with the problem. Because when you put food in trash, and if it's part of like a landfill, it actually produces chemicals that go into the air that are even worse than that are so bad that add to the problem. I'll say that, into the air. But when you put them back into the earth and they're composted properly, they literally pull carbon from the air and they sequester carbon. So it's a double good thing. You're reducing what goes into your trash stream, and you're also enriching the soil and making the soil a better place for us to grow your future food. So, or your other things, your plants or your flowers or whatever. So yes, please let us help you. Let Green Beverly help you figure out what works for you for composting. There are several options to do that as well.
Fantastic. And we do have a wonderful website, so it's worth perusing. So what else could somebody do to, make an impact, like right now?
Right now. So beyond the waste and trash, and looking at the waste reduction committee for support, and Green Beverly for support, and beyond going to unpacked living and being amazed and surprised and inspired, I would say if you are interested in supporting the local economy, if you're out, wanting to go to a restaurant, I would recommend, there are two real standout restaurants in Beverly that I would want to call out right now. One is Delphine's, and they're more breakfast, brunch, lunch. They do all kinds of really, I don't want to say sacrificial things, because I think everybody should be doing these things, but they make good choices at every turn. So they're doing the right kind of composting. Everything they use, they're plastic free. They are,
Wow, they're
yeah,
plastic free. That's incredible.
yeah, they do have some takeout containers, and you'll see what they look like plastic, but they are plant-based, so they're compostable.
I'm literally about to walk over there for a meeting. So yeah.
Yes, support them as much as you can. They're a wonderful a restaurant. And then the kitchen table is another one, and they're more like, I think, more dinner. And they have a bar area as well. They are 100% like just making great choices with their local food sourcing, and all the kinds of ways that you'd want a restaurant to be paying attention. They're paying attention. So these are two model I keep saying organizations, they're restaurants
You're
that
making me want to interview them.
yeah, I think I would support that. Yeah. So that's another way that I would
And
say.
I've heard you say that there's actually a directory that people can go to see which businesses in town are making an extra effort. Is that the case?
Yep, it's called Green Business Directory, and at least that's what it's called now. We're still building it. It does exist already, but we're trying to augment it and make it more user friendly, and something that you can look up in different angles of the same kind of idea. So if you wanted to do more, if you were looking into someone, if you're different, it's varied by topic, I guess, and you'll be able to, yeah, parse out the kinds of ways that you're interested in supporting businesses in our area. So Green Business Directory for sure. It's available now, but it will be really amazing pretty soon.
Okay.
The Cabot, I would say, is another place that's really working hard to make their organization a lot more sustainable too. So if you're looking at a couple of restaurants and you want some entertainment, keep an eye on the Cabot because they've made some really bold choices that
Like no plastic water bottles. That is
they-
amazing.
yeah, exactly. Like no plastic water bottles. Yeah. And some other things too that that they deserve to be supported and patronized by anybody who's interested in looking into the entertainment in the area.
Okay, well, speaking of entertainment in the area, I think there was one last thing that you were recommending.
Oh, the Green Beverly always has this calendar, greenbeverly.org. And on the calendar are going to be any events that we know about that are going to be supporting sustainability in some way. So whether you are a bird watcher or a moviegoer or a foodie or a plant, pollinator plant, lover, we're going to have information and events available for you on our calendar. So always keep that going. Last night we just had Green Jeopardy at Old Planters with Greta Gaucho, which was super fun. And then tonight, actually, at Beverly Public Library at 6 o'clock, we have a movie called The Last Repair Shop, which is the short documentary Oscar winner for the latest Oscars. And it's a 39-minute movie, and it's really highlighting how it's one way to restore something that some folks might find inclined to put in the trash. But this is restoring musical instruments so that youth in the LA area would be able to, not only just play music, but you'll see in this movie, if you see it, sometimes it's kind of a lifesaver as well.
Yeah, I'm planning on going. And that just also reminds me, because there was the kind of Fix It library event on April 20th recently. And I was made aware that you can totally fix lamps. And I remembered that there's Delandy's, because it's a little overwhelming to know which part to get for which lamp. And I just realized we have a really great lighting supply store that you can take your lamp to and just be like, what do I need to replace? And they are going to be able to help. So I'm like putting 2 and 2 together. I don't need to get a new lamp. I just need to get the right fixture for inside the lamp to make it brand new again. I'm super jazzed.
I love that you said that because honestly, I have the same feelings as anybody else. And when my lamp doesn't work, I kind of like throw up my hands sometimes and feel like I'm at the end of the road. But the truth is, that's what Green Beverly wants to be, is like here for you. So when you feel that feeling of frustration, come to Green Beverly, ask a coach, and we will, if we cannot answer your question, then we'll try and find someone who can. We're here to kind of bring you over that feeling that we all feel. And we all do feel it. It's just, we just need someone to tell us it's okay to keep going, or we'll help you, get over that hump.
Love it. Well, thank you so much, Julia, for taking some time today and sharing some good first steps in living sustainably.
My pleasure.